Alright, welcome back to Vermeil and Gold Anime Review, episode number 3. Reviewing episodes 5 and 6 of the series. We are in fact halfway through, so let's talk about these two episodes. So, beginning of last episode where apparently they referred to him as Rex in the dub, this apparently his name is actually Lex. I guess they decided to change his name to Rex in order to not confuse him with Lex Luthor. It's possible, that's probably what the dub did. And he's attacking Chris, who beat him up in the previous episode. And then, of course, well, Alta, Lilia, and, of course, Vermeil there. Vermeil does recognize the mana. The class president is basically asking about, the senior president is asking about this, but she's like, no, I know nothing about it. No, she does confront Professor Obsidian about it later on. After, of course, taking out, of course, well, Chris, of course, is not happy with the fact somebody that's probably she deemed as hers was messed with. Probably she should have beaten him up in the previous episode and put him in the hospital. It's implied like, yeah, the guy she beat up, she actually has a thing for. I'm like, why in the world would you beat up somebody you have a thing for? At least it's not a guy who beats up a woman that he has a thing for. That makes no, like, they've had in their shows where they tease them or they kind of sometimes bully them, but not to a point where they physically assault them. Yeah, sometimes when guys would do that, they would just do that just to get off. But Chris feels very unhappy about it, so she basically storms out of a meeting. So, and then of course Vermeil basically confronts Obsidian about what happened here. Now Lilia, she doesn't really do anything at all except what happened in episode 6. So Vermeil confronts Obsidian about the whole experimenting police stop, and then he injects her because he finds out she's actually a demon. And then she becomes this gigantic demon where, like, basically she's got, like, hoof legs and, of course, off her horns. Now, Lilia, this is when she finds out that Lilia is, in fact, a demon. And, of course, basically, she almost got on a rampage, and, of course, class is delayed by a co-conspirator who's using paper magic. Excuse me, that looks like some of the stuff we see in, like, I've seen this stuff also in, The Reincarnation of the Strongest Exorcist with his paper magic, so... yeah. Then, of course, basically... excuse me. Well... then, of course, Vermeil is stopped by Alto, who ends up basically standing in front of the professor. He, well, probably thinks that he did something wrong, and, of course, Vermeil ends up stabbing him, and, of course, she uses her mind to heal his wounds. And he's like, screw this, I'm basically taking this needle and inject myself, making myself a demon. And then, lucky enough, basically, like, Vermeil basically punches on one side that looks so ugly. And then, of course, Chris comes in, attacks him, and, of course, Vermeil finishes him off. He's taken the custody of the country's guard. And Vermeil thinks, basically, she's also acting less seductive, though she has her shirt, or his open shirt, and unbuttoned pants, where she just gives him some mana, just so he can live, because apparently that she uses her mana to basically restore his heart. And Alto's like, not accepting that at all, so he proceeds to make out with her this time, after she had been probably wanting him to do that for quite a while. And then she gets embarrassed because it's implied he may have confessed his feelings for her. And that kind of ends the first half of this thing, which you could say that I think that when I read the manga that they covered like the first like 30-ish chapters. I know there's also apparently like a light novel series. I think that covered maybe like the first 2 books, because this looks like basically covering like the entire first book. I haven't read the light novels for Vermeil and Gold, but so far really enjoying this series. Still enjoying the series so far. But I need to do my new stuff that came out today. Well, actually, a couple of things came out yesterday, but I'm going to have to do next. But next, of course, is going to be One Piece, and it's on to One Punch Man. Okay, so that's pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Also, before I end this video, I've been meaning to mention this. Thank you for 500 subs! Thank you! Let's continue basically building to 1,000 subs. There's a streaming planning coming soon to celebrate this, but I had to bring that up. But thank you for 500 subs. Alright, so, to the next video. Bye.